welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the movie The Call of the Wild. Now this is another adaptation of the Jack London story of the same name. And of course you know it's about a dog known as Buck who goes on like this adventure with the character played by Harrison Ford, because I forget what his name was. Yeah, John Thornton. He goes on an adventure with John Thornton. That's like later on in the film. Now this film is pretty entertaining, you know. I felt like at times it was kind of like all over the place, you know, but it still was a pretty entertaining film. You could tell that it really is focused on the dog of like Buck himself. It has like a strong focus on him, period, you know. Now this takes place during like I think they call it the Klondike Gold Rush of like the 1890s. Because at first Buck is with like this like wealthy, like rich family, you know, and he's like causing like chaos and stuff at times. Then he's eventually like stolen, you know. Then he ends up with like this person that's like doing like this sled thing. I think that goes on like the delivers mail. I think he actually like delivers like mail, if I'm not mistaken. He's played by Omar Sy. Yeah, the character's known as I think Perrault. He has like a sled team of like dogs and so on, and like Buck ends up being like the leader of his like sled team, you know, and I think he actually just delivers mail, if I'm not mistaken, like certain kind of supplies, you know. Once Buck leaves him, he actually ends up with the character of John Thornton, who's played by Harrison Ford, and then they actually go on an adventure where like John is actually looking for like gold and so on, you know, he's trying to find like gold, you know, and so on. And of course, you know, like John, like himself, you know, he has like a history of like his family. I think his son had died and so on, you know, and he had like a wife, you know, and so on. And I think he lost the house and so on and stuff like that. But the film itself really is actually focused on like the dog of like Buck, you know, and he's like completely like CGI, like done in CGI animation, you know. So it's kind of cool, you know, seeing him, you know, like he has like these different like emotions and expressions, you know, and movements that he does like a normal dog himself couldn't do, you know. So it's kind of cool seeing that, you know. Plus like most of all like the other animals that they encounter throughout the film, like say like I think it's like wolves or coyotes or whatever, you know, even like bears and like I think even fish, you know. So I think all those are done like in CGI, you know, because they have like these expressions and movements, you know, which kind of make them seem like, you know, you could tell that like a normal animal or a real animal really couldn't do that, you know. Now there are other characters in the film that I want to kind of touch on, but I'm going to just touch on, I guess you could say, what is like the villain or the antagonist of the film, and I believe his name is known as Charles, and he's played by Carlin Woodell. Now he's like very like mean, like nasty and so on, you know, and he like runs like a sled team of like dogs, you know, and he's trying to find like gold too as well, you know, and of course he has like conflicts with John Thornton, you know, who's played by Harrison Ford, you know. So yeah, those two are, I guess you could say, the main like stars, well I ain't gonna say the main stars of the film, but calling like Charles, well Charles is actually the antagonist, I guess you could say, or the villain of the film, you know. Now at first the film, you wouldn't even think that Harrison Ford was actually even in this film, you know. It's like really has like a strong focus on Buck, you know. He like shows up at one point in the film, like John, the character played by Harrison Ford, but it's just like a moment, like a cameo, you know. And for like most of the film, you just really seeing Buck, you know, but eventually, like I guess you could say by halfway, and a spoiler alert, they actually do meet up and they actually be together, you know. He's like with like the dog Buck is actually for John Thornton, you know. So they do actually be together, you know. But at first it seems like, you know, that the film, like, you know, like Harrison Ford, he doesn't really show up until the film is like halfway through, you know. Now this is actually directed by Chris Sanders, and I thought the film looked pretty good, you know. But once Buck and John actually go on the adventure to find like gold and so on like that, you know, the cinematography in the area that they are at is just like beautiful, you know. It's got to be one of the best like looking films I have seen this year as far as like the cinematography go, like the landscape and like the atmosphere of the film. It just really feels like awesome. It looks beautiful, you know. Like you see all like the wilderness and like the animals and like the water trails and stuff. It looks awesome. It looks like a video game world brought to life, you know. I guess because like a lot of the animals are like CGI and so on. It looks cool, you know. But then The Call of the Wild, I'm gonna give it a B minus. Like I said, it's entertaining, and at times I feel like it's kind of like all over the place because you have like 3 different like story arcs going on revolving like Buck, you know. But it still is a pretty entertaining film, you know. So I'm giving this a B minus. I would definitely recommend it for, I guess, fans of the novel. I haven't read the novel, I don't think, you know. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.